First, to make processing your deer easier, it is recommended that you place it on an elevated surface in a well-lit area, and that you have a sharp knife that allows for clean cuts. Wear rubber gloves and always be sure to wash your hands and instruments thoroughly when done. Begin by selecting one of the hind legs and pull back on the skin as you slice the connective tissue between the meat and the underside of the skin. Roll the skin back as you go to minimize hair contamination of the meat. Continue skinning down the leg to just past the first major joint and around the back of the hind quarter. Next, push the leg flat against the surface, exposing the inner leg, and cut down, revealing the ball and socket joint, teasing the meat off the pelvis as you go. Once the hind quarter releases from the carcass, cut through the knee joint and remove the lower portion of the leg. Next, move up to the center of the chest and begin cutting. Cut midline along the sternum, then, as with the hind quarter, pull back on the skin as you slice the connective tissue between the ribs and the underside of the skin. Continue to cut down the side of the carcass, staying close to the chest until you reach the pocket the front leg rests in. Once you cut through to that point where the shoulder connects, the leg will open up and fold back. As you did with the hind quarter, continue skinning down the leg to just past the first major joint. As before, cut through the joint and remove the lower part of the leg. Front legs typically come off easier than back legs. Continue cutting around the shoulder, going between the shoulder and the rib cage, pulling the quarter outward as you go to expose the connective tissue between the meat and the underside of the skin. Hanging the leg over the side of your working surface can help to facilitate this process. Once you have freed the quarter from the skin, place it with the other one. Repeat the quartering process for the other side. Once the quarters have been removed from the carcass, you will be ready to remove the tenderloins, which are located along the vertebrae in the abdominal cavity. Cut along the vertebrae, peeling the muscle back as you go to expose the connective tissues. As you cut, the muscle will begin to separate and peel away. Finish by cutting away the connective tissue near the pelvis and then repeat this process for the other tenderloin. Next, continue to skin along the sides of the carcass to expose the back straps, rolling the carcass over as you go. Cut along the side of the vertebrae as you did with the tenderloins and peel back any additional skin to reveal the muscle. Starting at the shoulder, pull on the muscle as you cut the connective tissue, working your way down to where the back strap concludes at the pelvis. Repeat this process for the back strap on the other side. When you are done, properly dispose of the carcass and leftover parts by garbage service, landfill, or a dumpster at a DNR deer check station. At this point, the quarters can be deboned and they, along with the other cuts of meat, can more easily be refrigerated until preparation and consumption. Visit gourmetgonewild.org for delicious recipes and preparation tips for your venison and other fish and wild game meats.